Okay, so before I get into my review for season 2 of The Flash, let me just state everything that I want to say concerning The Flash. I loved the first season of The Flash. Obviously, the first season of The Flash is actually what first got me into The Flash as a character, as the whole Flash story. Everything about The Flash I got into because of season 1 of The Flash. First, let's just start off. Now, there are some negatives to... sorry, I'm hot. Let me just strip. Anyway, there are some negatives to talk about in this season. Some things that I really did not like in this season was just bad decisions. Horrible decision after horrible decision. But for the most part, this is a very enjoyable season. How it started off, seeing everyone just so badly affected by the events of last season was just so great to watch. Seeing Barry, by the way, I will say that Grant Gustin, you are a pretty good actor in my opinion. You do so good. He is so good as Barry Allen. Now, I have read, this is the best thing that I can say for Barry Allen himself and Grant Gustin's performance as Barry Allen. And The Flash, ever since season 1, I told you, like, I've gotten into The Flash a lot, and I've read heaps of Flash graphic novels, so many. Okay, so what I was saying is that Barry Allen in this TV show, The Flash, himself, is very much like the comics. So that's the best thing that I can say concerning Barry Allen. How they write Barry Allen for this show. Also, Grant Gustin's performance behind Barry Allen, so good. This guy is Barry Allen. I honestly can't see anyone else as Barry Allen. So, we'll see how you go, Ezra Miller. But as for now, Grant Gustin, you are the man. And as I said, it was just so interesting and emotional seeing all these characters, especially Barry, so torn up about what had occurred in last season. Last season had the most abrupt ending that you could possibly have to a TV show, but it was in a good way. Like, it was like, holy crap, what the hell just happened next? We finally get to see what happened next in episode 1. I think they handled it really well. Now, if you've caught up with The Flash, and that this season they explore the multiple Earth theory, which means Jay Garrick, okay? Jay Garrick is fine. I've made a Jay Garrick theory video also, but let's not talk about Jay Garrick yet. Let's talk about Tom Cavanagh. This guy is so great. Tom Cavanagh, you are a great actor, okay? But if you didn't like Dr. Wells in season 1, you will definitely like Dr. Wells in this season. He is back. He is such an interesting character. I'm not going to say anything else but that Dr. Wells is back. Everything else, if you want to... anything else that you need to know about him, go and watch the season. But just so you know, Dr. Wells is back. How that is possible, watch the season. But I'm glad that he's back. This Dr. Wells is so interesting. He actually, I have to say, he was one of the many characters in this show that really intrigued me. He was just so mysterious. Like, you could argue that the Harrison Wells in season 1, he was interesting, but he's so much more interesting in this season. There is so much more to learn about this guy. Also, Tom Cavanagh just gives a great performance as this Dr. Harrison Wells. He was great because he felt like a real person. He felt like if I were to be in this situation, and if that type of situation were to happen to me, I would react in the way that this guy is reacting and acting. That's why I loved him, because he was, for me personally, he was the most human character in the entire season. I completely related to everything that was happening to this guy, and that everything that he did and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, if that were happening to me, I would do that. Also, another great part of this is Patty Spivot is in this season, and holy crap, she was not the most human character, but she was definitely so entertaining and fun to watch. And the romance. Okay, so in season 1, the romance was between Barry and Iris West. That was great. I actually really, really related to the romance between those two in that season, in the first season. I related to that so much. But, okay, so in this season, there is a new romance between Barry and Patty Spivot, and holy crap, these two just clicked. These two were so fun to watch. Also, it was just so, like, you could buy this couple. You could buy the fact that these two would get together. I mean, they're practically identicals. Barry Allen and Patty Spivot, their romance was great. They were so entertaining to watch. They were so cute together. They clicked so well. The chemistry between them was handled incredibly well. It was just so great. I don't know if that's because of the chemistry between the actual actors themselves, but the chemistry between the characters, Patty Spivot and Barry Allen, was done so well. I will say that, like for me personally, forget Iris West and Barry Allen. Patty and Barry should ship it, man. Those two should be together, because this is some of the best romance in the CW DC universe that I've seen so far. Also, the new villain Zoom. I can't believe I forgot to talk about Zoom. Really quickly, Zoom, I will not say he is as memorable as Reverse Flash in season 1. I mean, Reverse Flash is Barry's arch nemesis. He is the Joker to the Flash, right? But Zoom in this was not, as I said, was not as memorable, but I think he really filled the shoes in terms of this is one tricky opponent. This is going to be one tough villain to take down. I mean, there was this one episode where Barry just gets the shit beaten out of him. It was brutal. I mean, it honestly reminded me, and this is how good this episode was. I'm comparing it to The Dark Knight Rises when Bruce/Batman was getting beaten by Bane. That's how great this episode was. I think it was episode 6. It was such a great episode, not just because Barry's getting the shit kicked out of him, but because the episode had a lot of heart in it. It had a lot of emotion behind it leading up to this conflict, and because Zoom beat the crap out of him, you knew, oh man, Barry's gonna come back with a vengeance and beat the shit out of you. And then the season finale starts to come up, and then it's shit. I mean, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I mean, okay, this is, just so you know, spoilers are starting here. Granted, I might have spoiled a few things earlier on in the video, but spoilers are starting right here. If you don't want to hear spoilers, I would turn off the video now. The story is all over the place. I mean, the season finale, and even a few episodes leading up to the season finale, the last 3 or 4 episodes was just like, what the fuck was going on? It was just like on a car. Like, you're in a car and you start at the top of a hill and then you slowly go down and things just get a whole lot worse and you get stuck in this big mud and it's all convoluted and like just it's everywhere. That's kind of like what the story and plot of the last few episodes of this season were like. It was shit. Some of the decisions just didn't make sense. Like, why would you make the Speed Force a mystical thing? What makes Barry Allen is that he is a science man. He is a forensic officer. He does not believe in mystical stuff or like religious stuff. He doesn't believe in that. And in one of the episodes, they turn out that they make the Speed Force a fucking mystical thing. I mean, the Speed Force transcends into people and talks to Barry. That's not what the Speed Force is. In the comic books, it is a science-based thing. Granted, some of the things that the abilities that Barry has as the Flash is completely outside of science. Yeah, sure, whatever. But in the comic books, the whole point of the Speed Force is that there is science behind the Speed Force. You can make sense of it all. In this, it's just, they completely throw that out the window. Now, at this point of this certain episode that I can't remember the name of or number, I had read basically all the Flash graphic novels that I own. I'd read it all. I knew my knowledge of the Flash went from here to here. So I understood what makes the Flash, what makes the Speed Force, all that type of stuff. And then they make that decision. Also, there are other decisions that I just can't get into at the moment simply because I can't remember them. But it was just all downhill and completely anticlimactic. Like, I mean, the story and the overall plot of the last few episodes just really goes all over the place and makes some, and not just that, it just makes some really odd decisions. Like the fact that Jay Garrick is from fucking Earth 3. I mean, granted the fact that, Jay Garrick at the end of the season turned out to be Barry's father's doppelganger. The doppelganger of Barry Allen's father. I didn't really care about that. I only cared about the fact that Jay Garrick in this is from Earth fucking 3. And for the whole season, I mean, ever since we met the Man in the Iron Mask, there was a lot of suspicion being created around, is this guy the real Jay Garrick? Turned out to be true, but then, I mean, like, they were building it up. Like, they said that he would be in the last episode. He is in the last episode. I thought that they would use him, that Barry and the real Jay Garrick would somehow team up against Zoom. That doesn't happen. It never happens. I mean, he just comes like, oh, I'm Jay Garrick. I'm just gonna leave now. Like, what the fuck? I mean, do you understand what I'm talking about? They built all this suspicion around the Man in the Iron Mask, maybe to possibly have a team up between Barry and Jay Garrick. I mean, Flash fans would have loved that. I mean, that's most of the audience for this TV show are Flash fans. So why would you not do that? Oh shit! Sorry. Another negative also that I have to mention is, you know how I was talking about how Patty and Barry were so good in this season? They split up. Now, I will argue that episode where they kind of split up and go their separate ways, that was very sad for me. I really, it touched me. So it was done well, okay? But the only reason they did that is so that Barry and Iris could getting together. Because destiny says so. It felt forced, and I honestly thought that trying to get Barry and Iris together now in season 2 was way too rushed. I think they should have waited until season 3. I mean, there was absolutely no rush to get them together in this movie. Season. Why do I keep saying that? So I know I'm talking, like, I know you think that, I mean, I might be going on a lot of negatives in it. It sounds like I hate this season, but I really don't. There are a lot more good episodes in this season than there are bad. There's like a few ones that you can just forget about. But anyway, please go down, like and comment on this video. Subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, TV show reviews, trailer reactions, and random videos. I will see you guys later, and I do apologise for the lateness of this season 2 review. Sorry, but I have my own life. Anyway, goodbye.